right. So this is my Titan Season 4, Episode 6 review. And as you can see, this is going to be my final video. Why is this not staying on properly? It's my final video before the Christmas holiday. So, antlers. Anyway, so this episode started with Connor seemingly in pain, but then he steadies himself, and then he breaks off a shard of the mirror and starts, I guess, burning his hair off, because then we see him bald. He's gone full Lex Luthor. So he walks in, and he basically, like I said, starts acting like Lex Luthor. He's come up with a solution. He's arrogant, just like Lex Luthor. He has the same weaknesses as Lex Luthor. But anyway, so Dick and them are of course worried about Connor. Rachel and Corey come back to Star Labs and tell them about Sebastian giving himself up to save Corey, which, anyone ever heard of a phone? I mean, this life-threatening, don't you think you might want to, give him a heads up before you get there, because God knows what's happening in the meantime, but okay, whatever. So, they're trying to plan what to do, and Connor decides that this woman had snakes growing inside his stomach, killed his father, that both she and Sebastian need to die. And everybody else is like, dude, that's not how we work. But he doesn't care. Now, granted, he's not wrong to want Mother Mayhem killed, but, Sebastian is, at this point, not to blame for this. I mean, that's like when, in the first season, or was it second already? First season, I think it was, where Corey tried to kill Rachel because of what she might do. And she had her powers already at this point. So Connor comes up with this ingenious idea, which actually worked for a while, they need a blood moon, right? Well, let's just illuminate the moon so you don't have a blood moon. Okay, fine. And of course the plan works, but as he's going along, he's becoming more and more Lex-like, which nobody likes. He's freaking out the staff of Star Labs. Oh, excuse me. And he keeps calling Dick Richard, which is a callback to what Lex was calling him. And he's like, you really prefer Dick? He's like, yeah, the last person who called me Richard sent ninjas after me and tried to have me killed. And of course Connor mentioned that no, it was just sending you a message, which Lex did say he was doing that. And so not only are they dealing with the blood moon, but Sebastian doesn't want to change into brother blood. He's undergoing some sort of transformation, but he doesn't want to. And, he said, I just did this to protect my friends. So, he doesn't actually want to go through with it. He just doesn't want his friends hurt. And like I mentioned last video, I wonder after the transformation is complete if he's going to actually remember that the Titans are his friends. So, um, they go. Mother Mayhem is trying to convince him to go through with the ritual because even though others want her to just force him, she doesn't want to force him. She wants him to choose to do this. So she starts showing him memories. And I wonder how much of this is true and how much is manipulated. Especially the earlier memories, like him playing with this video game only to be usurped by a girl who is sickly. And so yeah, that I question how accurate that is, because I mean she is trying to convince him to do this. So of course, how reliable is she? So she then the last memory she shows him is of Julie, which the mother mentioned. Um, and I don't know now. Is this the same woman who was in the flashbacks? Or is this a different one? Because he has a great relationship with this woman. So, but the last one is with Julie. Apparently, he talked all about this video game that he played and this device that he played on. And Julie, being a cool girlfriend, decided to give him one to give him inspiration for creating a video game. Now, he immediately changes his tone with her and he breaks up with her, and she's completely confused as to what's going on. You know, because he tells her that he knows that, you know, eventually this is going to end and she's going to end it. And he wants to jump the gun. And I'm like, dude, how do you know this? And I think it's the trauma, if it's true what the previous memory was. I think it's just simply the trauma of what happened. He thinks, uh-oh, this is going to happen all over again. But maybe she's right and it was repressed memories, and so he didn't actually remember that that's why he had a problem with this game. So he becomes more and more okay with the idea of what she wants him to do. And she cuts her wrist and he drinks from her blood to calm him down. The fact that he didn't hesitate. Well, at first he did hesitate and then he went for it. It's like, ugh. So, anyway, back at Star Labs, Connor, after they've discovered that he was able to do what he said he was going to do, and everybody else is trying to figure out how to get Sebastian out. And Jinx is also working at giving Rachel her powers, or at least finding her powers. And so one of the things is Jinx has her eat a little bit of Jinx's hair. Couldn't it have been Rachel's hair? At least Rachel knows what shampoo she uses. And you would think that she wouldn't mind that, but it has to be Jinx's, apparently. And, so then, for some reason, they needed Corey for this ceremony. And, Connor, while this is happening, Connor uses the fact that even Mother Mayhem asked one of her servants to hack LexCorp computers, which the one guy did. And so Connor asked one of the workers, if the servers had been attempted to be hacked. She said yes 4 minutes ago. So he finds out where the hack came from. So, okay, you would think a reasonable person would talk to the team and say, I found where Mother Mayhem is. I found where she took Sebastian. No, of course not, because this is the fault of Luther. He is so arrogant and he thinks he's so fucking smart and so much better than everyone else that he decided to go by himself. And this also is shown in when he argues with Dick about, oh, Connor, you should rest, you're still recovering from what happened. And he's like, I'm the only member of the team who can do anything. He badmouthed every member of the team. And I'm sorry, Gar can turn into animals. If I were Gar, I would have turned into something and beat the shit out of Connor. Because what the hell? Or at least attempt to, because, Kryptonian. But, yeah. At that point, I'm surprised anybody actually wanted to save Connor. Because if I were them, try to save Sebastian, but Connor can rot. Because, he's an ass. Now, maybe whatever Mother Mayhem did to him, once they defeat her, maybe he'll revert back to nice, sweet, gentle Connor. I hope so, because this one is an ass. So, and bald is not a good look on him. Anyway, so Jinx does the ceremony with Rachel to find her powers. And as she does that, she finds Connor is locked up. So, because again, he is a moron. He says that those who refuse to learn from history are fucking morons, which, by the way, it's those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. But that could go for him. Seriously, you must know Lex Luthor's antics. His greatest weakness is his fucking ego. And thinking that he's better than everyone and can do everything himself. That's what generally gets him defeated. It's not so much that Superman thwarts his plans, which he does, but it's because Lex is so up his own ass that he thinks he's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Nothing could possibly go wrong with any of his schemes. So he basically screws himself over. So that's what Connor did here. But at least he bought the Titan some time with the Blood Moon ritual. Unfortunately, because he got his full self captured, he now, instead of their plan of teleporting Sebastian, because they had an idea of how teleportation works because of Gar's shapeshifting. So they wanted to, teleport Sebastian. Well, now Connor's been captured, and teleporting two people, it could potentially be very messy. I love a fantasy show that basically destroys Star Trek technology with one scene. So now they have to come up with a new plan. So, and everybody's involved, and Bernard does not like the idea that Tim is going to the temple because he doesn't want Tim to get hurt. And I'm thinking, alrighty, uh, he's a Titan, he has a bow staff. Granted, he doesn't have that much training with it, but still, when the chips are down, Tim does pretty well. He's proven that last season and this season. So, but I get it. Bernard cares about him, so. And so they go to the temple. First, Gar goes gorilla, goes ape, and does makes short work of a lot of his followers, which was hilarious. And starts knocking people left and right until Tim and Rachel are able to find Rachel's power where it's being held. Gar breaks it, and the magic comes rushing back to Rachel, and suddenly she's all in white raven. And Tim's like, Rachel? I have no idea what's going on. So then it's an all-out fight against the organization. Raven finds Sebastian and tries to convince him to come back with them, and he's like, no, I want to actually feel powerful for once. Dude, you did that when you broke Julie's heart for absolutely no reason. So yeah, that's like, yeah, you're just, I mean, I get it. You know, his math professor didn't like that he was suggesting how to do math easier. I get that, professors do not want, that they have a certain idea in mind when they teach. And most of them, I mean, he was fine about it at the time. At least he took him aside, and instead of embarrassing him in front of the entire class, saying, don't do that, he took him aside and wanted him to take basic programming to teach him a lesson that he needs to learn the fundamentals. And I'm like, if he has a shortcut, why? I don't understand. This is math. Anyway. So, good Lord, this does not want to stay on. So, yeah, it's I get the guardian mother type thing. That I get, because that was pretty shitty what she did to Sebastian. I will give you that. The others, especially with Julie, even his mother, even Mother Mayhem was like, why screw yourself over? Let other people do it for you. Why wait? Why do it first? So that was the first thing she said I agreed with. So he decides he wants to stay. Now, earlier in the episode, Gar met with this guy after he was like freaking out. He was sitting on the stairs. He heard Connor's voice and heard what he was going to say before Connor came. He went outside. Corey gave him a nice hug, which was sweet. So, but he went outside and he meets with this guy, and this guy is telling him, when the towers are split, go to the red. And he's like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Why are you talking to me? What's going on? And then we find out that some spirit, I guess, because when Connor went to talk to him some more, it wasn't him. So when Sebastian drank the blood, he lets out this primal scream, and everybody disappears. And as Gar is about to disappear, he says, take me to the red. It was very faint. He didn't say it very loud, but he did say it. So God knows where he went and what happened to the rest of the Titans. I mean, it's entirely possible, because apparently it's up to Gar to save the world, according to this guy that he talked with. So maybe he's alone? Who knows? And earlier in the episode, one of the doctors, one of the scientists told Corey that she's she's tapped into 80% of her potential, and she's worried that it's going to consume her. So, are they going to kill Corey at the end of this season? Especially since she seems to be wrongfully upset with Dick because she had this vision, which Rachel knows about, where there was this little girl with a red balloon. Same little girl as what Dick saw. And she's upset that Dick didn't tell her. The man doesn't believe visions are real. What do you want him to do? I mean, come on. You're going to be mad at him for that? I mean, if it had come out, or if Rachel, like she did with Corey, told her, oh, by the way, Dick had the same vision, and Corey just said, oh, I hear that we had the same vision, and not be judgmental about it, fine. But, yeah, I'm wondering if Corey is a dead woman at the end of this season. Speaking of dead women, Jinx. Jinx took on Mother Mayhem and lost. She, supposedly froze her, and she starts acting all arrogant, just like Connor's been ever since he's been channeling Lex Luthor. And yeah, this episode is a masterclass in don't be fucking arrogant. So she's just being Jinx, and in the meantime, Mother Mayhem, stabs her in the stomach with her staff. And Jinx basically said, oh no, not again. So I guess she's been killed before, which means she'll probably come back. Probably not this season, because she was just a tide over until Rachel got her powers back, which she has back, so don't need Jinx anymore. Not that Jinx was, I mean, she was very powerful in some ways, but in other ways, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? How are you such a powerful magician? So, that's the mid-season finale. I don't know when the episodes resume. That's why I'm actually late with these 6 episodes, because I didn't even know that these episodes were running. So, yeah. Let me think if I'm missing anything character-wise. I think I really pretty much covered everything important. So I will see you guys next time, and happy holidays.